And welcome to the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. We're reaching out to you from Abuja, the nation's capital city. This is Nationwide. I am Ronke, Kolawole. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has declared a nationwide indefinite strike starting from Monday, the 14th of August. Speaking to correspondent Abdullahi Musa Suleja, ASUU President Abiodun Ogunyemi said the union is compelled to embark on the industrial action as a result of failure of federal and state governments to implement some substantial aspects of the 2009 agreement and 2013 Memorandum of Understanding MOU after a series of persuasions and promises by the government.
Lecturers in federal universities have been receiving fractions of their salaries. It was part of our agreement in 2009 that universities will have separate fund for administering pension. University staff primary schools were part of our agreement and academic allowances. In 2013, government released some 30 billion. Part of our agreement is that professors who have spent 20 years in universities should be allowed to go with their salaries. That has also not come. The fertilization fund, which was also part of our agreement, in 2013, government released 200 billion. Government is in arrears of 2014, 2015, 2016, and now 2017. So today, we declared an indefinite, total and comprehensive strike action.
It could be remembered that ASUU had on 16th November 2016 embarked on a one-week warning strike to draw government's attention to 2009 and 2013 MOU. As part of efforts to reduce the number of out-of-school children, media executives were brought together in Kaduna to build a collective responsibility for reaching out to such children in Nigeria. Augustine Aibe reports that the meeting was convened by the Federal Ministry of Education, Universal Basic Education Commission, in collaboration with UNICEF.
Findings by UNICEF and other agencies have shown that about 58 million children globally are out of school. 50% of these children are girls. Nigeria has the highest number of children not in school, with a figure put at 10.5 million. It is an attempt to stem the tide that informed the 2017 National Enrollment Drive Planning Meeting to share the National Enrollment Drive framework with the media to agree on possible partnerships, support roles and responsibilities of the media. Azuka Menkiti of UNICEF, speaking on the objectives of the meeting, says preliminary studies carried out came up with findings which shows that poverty, cultural belief and misconception of Western education are some of the reasons for large number of children out of school in Nigeria.
Nigeria contributes 20% of the number of children globally who are not in school. And we are concerned and worried because just like we missed the last MDG, if nothing is done, we are likely to miss the SDG target.
The Federal Ministry of Education says government has worked out strategies to enhance enrollment of children in schools.
That has been articulated in the Federal Ministry of Education Strategic Plan 2016 to 2019. And out of the 10 pillars in that strategic document, the out-of-school children is pillar number 1.
The media is also challenged to report the issue of birth registration as the record is currently bad in Nigeria. Sharon Oladiji of UNICEF says if every child is registered at birth, every issue about the child's development will be known by the government to help in planning. Participants who spoke appreciated the concerns, saying all the relevant stakeholders, including policy makers, legislators, traditional leaders, must be carried along in the drive. In Kaduna, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
We now go to Owerri, Imo State, where a 3-story building has collapsed, leaving 4 persons dead and others seriously injured. Keto Soa reports that the building located along Egbu Road had occupants with the last floor under construction.
The 3-story building with the last floor still under construction is being used for commercial and residency purposes collapsed Sunday morning. Two people who narrowly escaped raised alarm that made residents rescue a pregnant woman and the husband at the first instance.
So we heard him shouting for help or his son. So we start clearing that place.
The State Commissioner of Police, Chris Ezike, who joined in the rescue, stated that prompt intervention of the concerned authorities led to the rescue of more lives. The rescue includes two core members, a male and a female, while the dead made up of two to the mortuary.
A reasonable engineer should be in the business of providing local stones as materials for the decking and the column placements.
The building is actually sealed, but they kept coming back to live in here.
The Nigerian Red Cross Society and 24 hours emergency services were on ground to render assistance to the victims. In the past 3 months, this is about the fourth building that has collapsed in Owerri metropolis, which experts attributed to substandard materials and failure to comply with regulatory standards. In Owerri, Kate Osunwa, NTA News.
Nigerian refugees in Cameroon may soon have an agreement for their voluntary repatriation to Nigeria. This follows the meeting in Abuja of a technical working group charged with developing a practical implementation plan of the tripartite agreement for the voluntary repatriation of Nigerians from Cameroon. Femi Okeowo reports.
The meeting, which was co-chaired by Nigeria, Cameroon and the United Nations Commissioner for Refugees, is to come up with an operational roadmap and strategies for the voluntary repatriation of over 58,000 Nigerian refugees in Cameroon. The Federal Commissioner, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Hajia Sadiya Umar Farouk, emphasized that under the agreement, return is voluntary.
You cannot force somebody to go back to where he's coming from if in his own judgment he feels it's not safe for him to go back. And that is why we're saying, and the return has to be voluntary, it has to be safe, and it has to be in a dignified manner.
The standard operating procedure has a work plan consisting of 5 stages of the implementation, where each stakeholder will be responsible for help desk, arrival of returnees to border stations, distribution of construction and dignity kits, as well as arrival home with food rations and kits to start resettlement. Nigeria has been receiving returnees from its neighboring countries since 2015, and close to 300,000 have so far returned. The tripartite agreement, which is aimed at ensuring the return of Nigerian refugees in Cameroon in safety and dignity, as well as being adequately reintegrated into their final destination in Nigeria within international best practices, was signed by Nigeria, Cameroon, and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees on the 2nd of March 2017. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
In the meantime, over 2,500 internally displaced persons from 67 communities in Bauchi State will benefit from assorted food items in the Security and Livelihood Emergency Support Program. The gesture is by Fadama 3 Additional Financing Project to cushion the effect of hunger faced by IDPs. Bulak Afsa reports.
Bauchi State for years now have been housing thousands of IDPs who have fully integrated into their various host communities and living peacefully. The Food Security Livelihood Support Program aims at providing food for the IDPs and also farm inputs, chemicals, seedlings to enable them produce crops, thereby becoming self-reliant.
Bauchi State was the only state in this country that participated fully in all the Fadama projects that have ever come to this country from the World Bank.
Governor Mohammed Abdullahi Abubakar of Bauchi, who was represented by the Special Advisor Security, retired Brigadier General Laden Yusuf, said the state contributes 35 million naira annually for the smooth implementation of Fadama projects, and all other counterparts funds have been settled up front.
The state government has already approved the participation of the state toward the implementation of Adama 3 additional financing tool.
He pointed out that Bauchi State gives priority to employment generation through agriculture and food security. Some of the beneficiaries who spoke to NTA News were appreciative of the gesture they have been enjoying in the state. In Bauchi, Bulak Afsa, NTA News.
The Nigerian elite have been challenged to demonstrate faith, loyalty, sincerity and patriotism to Nigeria as a way of containing agitations and building national unity and stability. Guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria submitted the leaders have the capacity and mandate to steer the nation in the right direction by thinking and acting for the general good. Aisha Ubali has the rest of the story.
Unity and diversity are twin subjects that appear difficult to wave away after over a century of amalgamation by the British colonialists. Discussing the recurring subject of national unity and stability, guests on Good Morning Nigeria attributed the cocktail of agitations, crises and disagreements to the inability of Nigerians, particularly the elite, to deal with major issues in a sincere and nationalistic manner.
East on whether we should have independence. The trouble with Nigeria during the war is that the war was executed without full consciousness of the fact that this is one people. This is a family fight. You don't do elimination in family fights. And so the blockade and the rest of it, were treated it's like you want to exterminate vermin.
So we have these basic problems. We must unite everybody. How do we start? All these schools we have, we should start from there. They should go on excursion. At least they should visit one state in one region every year so that they will know where they are speaking of.
However, the guests also believe that the citizenry must also have a reorientation, while hate speech and expression of toxic ethno-political and religious sentiment must also be addressed.
Elite, that is what we need in this country. We need an elite that have a sense of national purpose and destiny, who can come together across all the divides, religious, ethnic, regional, and have a sense of one nation with one destiny and one purpose.
Orientation today, it's an agency that is set up for employment, not for orienting anybody. They don't have the resources. They are not allowed to work. The rules that set up the agency are breached when it is being composed. So you begin to ask, why are we? You go to the streets of Nigeria, you are driving, and there's a problem. And a two-lane road immediately becomes 14. So because of attitudes.
The guest also said the call for restructuring is apt, but it must be done with genuine intention and involvement of all stakeholders, while institutions must be strengthened to regulate conduct of Nigerians. In Abuja, Aisha Ubali, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the federal government is considering repositioning Niger State agricultural production to enable it feed at least 50% of Africans. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo disclosed this at the Niger State Investment Summit held in Minna, highlighting economic diversification as a necessity for Nigeria. In the wake of the current economic challenges, the acting president identified energy generation and infrastructural development as the way forward for increased agricultural production capacity and assured Nigerians of the federal government's commitment to partner states in line with its economic recovery plan.
The way forward is solar power. We must do more solar power. We must use solar power in the villages so that we can increase the capacity of the farmers, of the rural farmers, to continue to process their goods. And solar power is becoming cheaper and cheaper every day. Again, just like Nigeria, this state is full of hidden surprises. Many may not know that Niger State has the largest national park in Nigeria, the Kainji National Park, which covers over 5,300 square kilometers of pristine forests, spectacular waterfalls, and serene lakes. This presents an exceptional opportunity to develop a commercial ecosystem to attract international tourism to this beautiful state.
The summit is geared towards boosting agricultural practices and making Niger State the agricultural hub of the country in line with the federal government's diversification policy. Minister of Information harps on selfless service to build the nation. Jennifer in our Lagos Network Center has details of this and other reports from that axis. Hello, Jennifer, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ronke. Good day and welcome to Lagos. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has challenged individuals and corporate organizations in the country to embark on humanitarian projects that will have positive impact on the society, since government cannot do it alone. The minister made the remark during the installation ceremony of Rotarian Sanjeev Tandon as the second president of Rotary Club of Lagos Island District 9110. Ken Igbeluge reports that the minister was represented by the Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, Chidi Uluka.
The installation of Rotarian Sanjeev Tandon as the second president Rotary Club of Lagos Island District 9110 is seen by many as another opportunity to serve humanity. The Minister of Information and Culture, who was represented by the Zonal Director NTA Lagos Network Center, Mr. Chidi Uluka, enjoined Nigerians to demonstrate these rare qualities that Nigerians are known for.
And I want to encourage every other non-governmental organization to key in and emulate what they are doing for the betterment of the society.
Already they've started blood donation camps whereby they are collecting blood for Lagos State Blood Bank Service.
The incoming president explained that the club major focus will be on health care and that it will continue to tackle health issues while carrying out humanitarian services such as vocational training projects for youths, clean water and blood donation camps, amongst others.
We have a couple of projects which has been planned with this club. One is the artificial limb project, which is with the Rotary Club of Singapore jointly and Tolaram Foundation, in which we are going to 1,500 artificial limbs free of cost.
My advice to him will be to consolidate, carry all the members with him, carry all the other Rotarians with him, carry the society with him.
Awards were presented to deserving individuals who have contributed immensely to the growth of the club over a year. Rotary Club of Lagos Island was chartered by Rotary Club of Lagos Palm Grove Estate on the 2nd of June 2016 with 31 members in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
Intolerance, poverty, and lack of access to opportunities have been identified as causes of conflict and agitation among the younger generation. This was a focus at a youth forum which centered on ways of ensuring peace and creating opportunities for younger generation. Lilineke has the details.
Over the years, the society has been grappling with the involvement of youths in various unrests, especially during political campaigns, religious crises, communal and ethnic clashes. All these have resulted in the loss of lives and property. It is against this background that the United Nations Information Center, in collaboration with Strategy for Mentoring and Leadership Empowered, brought together youths, stakeholders, both from the public and private sector, with the belief that with collective efforts of all stakeholders, a lot of progress can be made and challenges addressed.
The government must put in place the required regulations that are critical to ensure that youths are empowered.
The orientation needs to change. It's not about holding those electoral positions. The orientation is about every one of us needs to, it's a hands-on thing to solve the issues at hand.
The event afforded some young Nigerians who believed in their dreams to share their experiences and serve as sources of inspiration.
As a youth, you can decide who you want to follow. You don't follow everybody asking you to come and follow. And you can also decide who to unfollow.
Use social media responsibly and also build positive networks on social media.
The theme for this year's International Youth Day is dedicated to celebrating young people's contributions to conflict prevention and transformation, as well as inclusion, social justice, and sustainable peace. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Now, the United States Air Force and the Nigerian Air Force are co-hosting the African Partnership Flight 2017 in Lagos. The 5-day training is designed to improve professional air knowledge of African partner nations. Ken Egbeluge reports that Chad, Niger, and Benin Republic are taking part in the military training.
The African Partnership Flight is a multinational military engagement designed to help strengthen relationships and share best practices through classroom instructions and hands-on training. It comprises of multiple workshops aimed at providing diverse experiences to different African countries. The Chief of Air Staff commended the efforts of the United States Air Force Command in bringing together participating nations in the region to stimulate a common security and humanitarian environment in ensuring synergy in their operations.
The initiative, therefore, is an effort in the right direction and a good step in our collective drive to ensure security of our countries and indeed our continent.
This event with the theme, aeromedical evacuation and medical deployments, will contribute to further building the capacity of Nigerian Air Force personnel in their untiring efforts at reaching out to internally displaced persons and other non-combatants.
The head of the United States Air Force team re-echoed the United States commitment in building capacity of the Nigerian Air Force personnel in tackling security challenges being experienced in the country and in the region.
This is a fabulous opportunity for us to work on regional cooperation and to work on interoperability.
2 to 3 African Partnership Flight workshops are held each year in a different African country with the goal of promoting regional cooperation to strengthen the ability of African militaries to work together. The theme of the 5-day training workshop is aeromedical evacuation and medical development in Lagos. Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
Now, those are the top stories at this hour from Lagos. Back to Ronke in Abuja for more on Nationwide. Ronke, it's over to you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Investment in biotechnology will lead to increased capacity for chemical examinations, production of vaccines, medical diagnostic tests, and biopharmaceutics. This came to the fore at a forum to propose the establishment of a reference biotechnology center of international standard at the nation's Biotechnology Development Agency. Science correspondent Kirian Umayo has that report.
The establishment of Reference Biotechnology Center would give birth to specialized laboratories that are strategically important in addressing major health challenges such as Ebola, Lassa fever, Zika, and hemorrhagic viral diseases. Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Ondo says the proposal is germane to the development of the country, as research is the hallmark of scientific discoveries.
So many things that we believe that with proper deployment of science and technology, we can help solve those problems for our country. We are concerned with job creation. We are concerned with wealth creation. We are concerned with poverty reduction. We want a situation where our citizens can be prosperous and happy.
The proposal, articulated by staff of Bioresource Department of Ministry of Science and Technology, aims at involving investors with deep interest in biotechnology for the partnership needed to drive the project.
Many countries have developed national strategies, formulated policies, and substantially increased investment in biotechnology, subsequently making it a deliberate priority in global competitiveness.
Biotechnology has in recent years been a propelling force in the global science and technology development. Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
A critical issue that concerns Nigerians is security, which was a key feature during interactions between the management of the Digital Bridge Institute and members of the House Committee on Telecommunications. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports.
The Digital Bridge Institute is a subsidiary of the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), and the world over, such bodies have played significant roles in tackling insecurity.
Any technology or development that does not meet the human component of it, is to us just halfway.
There is room, though, for us to do more, and in the area of tracking of criminals and criminality.
The committee was also interested in the Institute's contributions to the digitization process and how it reaches out to the ordinary Nigerian concerning access to the best standards of ICT development. The Institute's administrator highlighted efforts in broadcast content development, which is a key component of digitization, and holding annual ICT forums designed to expose people to developing skills and securing jobs. Deliberations also focused on capital expenditures as well as utilization of internally generated revenue.
It is the appropriate time to come over and see what they have been doing, at least to showcase what Nigeria is made of in terms of capacity building in ICT.
The Digital Bridge Institute was established in 2004 and has centers in other states including Enugu, Lagos and Adamawa. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
In line with the anti-corruption posture of the present administration, the Senate Committee of Federal Capital Territory, FCT, has called for investigation into an allegation of 35 million naira bribe in the FCT litigation department. This is the committee's resolution at a meeting to investigate land allocation dispute on 3 plots at Kiami districts. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
The evidence that I shall give before this committee.
The people involved were put on oath at the meeting, which brought together officials of the Federal Capital Territory Authority and Federal Capital Development Authority. A request for 30 million naira and another 5 million naira to be deposited into a company's accounts, allegedly owned by a public servant, was a major accusation. Committee's chairman, Senator Dino Melaye, said the meeting is to ensure sanity and justice in the entire FCT land allocation process.
This man be placed on suspension while investigation is going on by the relevant appointed disciplinary committee of the FCT. And please report back to this committee within 3 weeks.
Besides providing information to the FCT administration's panel, if established, the committee resolved to report the issue to relevant security agencies, including anti-corruption agencies, for further action. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
Illegal immigrants from Togo intercepted a Port Harcourt. Dibabari in that zone will tell us how. Hello, Dibabari.
Good evening, Ronke, and welcome to Port Harcourt. The inability of the National Identity Management Commission to issue national identity cards to most Nigerians has been blamed on the failure of the Public-Private Partnership Initiative adopted for the production of the cards. This was disclosed by the Director General of the Commission, Alhaji Aliyu Aziz Abubakar, when he visited Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel in Uyo. Clement Barikwi has the detail.
The ongoing national identity registration, which began in 2012, is aimed at providing a reliable national database, national identity cards, as well as national identification number for Nigerians. Director General of the National Identity Management Commission, Aliyu Aziz Abubakar, disclosed that although the Commission has commenced printing of 2013 identity cards, it will soon issue licenses to private, state and federal agencies to fast-track the process.
Started by outsourcing the private sector and having a PPP partnership, but unfortunately it did not work.
Governor Udom Emmanuel, while reiterating the commitment of the state government to give NIMC the needed support, identified unreliable data management over the years as a major setback to development in the country.
It is something that we really want to drive in instead, because as of today, we are into partnership and collaboration with a whole lot of international agencies, and they really need to know how we've gone in terms of identity management.
For now, 25 local government areas in Akwa Ibom State have national identity registration centers. From the executive chambers, Governor's Office, Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy says it is determined to enhance the quality infrastructure and facilities at its training institutions in Nigeria towards producing professional personnel for effective defense of Nigeria's territorial integrity. Flag Officer commanding Nigeria's Navy Training College, Rear Admiral Obi Ofodile, gave assurance while inspecting facilities and meeting with officers and men of Nigerian Navy Training College on River State. Kingsley Amajin reports.
Rear Admiral Ofodile is the new flag officer commanding the Nigerian Navy Training College. 2 months after assumption of office, the visit to the Nigerian Navy Basic Training School Ondo is part of his working visit to the different Navy training institutions in the country. The objective is to enable him have a first-hand information and make appraisal of the units under his command beyond what he was told in the handover notes. Satisfied with the state of things at the college, the flag officer commanding Navy Training College stressed the importance of the effective intelligence and defense of the country by the Nigerian Navy, anchored on enhanced professional training.
We need quality personnel. We need to train our men in such a manner that they will provide effective and efficient services.
On arrival, Rear Admiral Ofodile held meetings with the officers and men of the institution and subsequently inspected the different facilities, accommodation, and schools in the institution. From Nigerian Navy Basic Training School Ondo, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) has intercepted 14 illegal immigrants from the Republic of Togo in Port Harcourt who entered into Nigeria without valid papers. According to the River State Commandant of the Corps, Mohammed Haruna, the illegal immigrants were intercepted on their way to Oron in Akwa Ibom State. Robinson Derataide has the details.
The illegal immigrants, 3 men and 11 women, whose mission is yet to be determined, were led by one David Ayewada from the Republic of Togo, were on their way to Oron in Akwa Ibom State, where one David was waiting to receive them. The immigrants, who could not communicate in English language, but through a Nigerian driver who served as an interpreter from Lagos, Leasi Abdullahi, did not state their mission in Nigeria. The Corps is, however, carrying out investigation on their purpose in the country.
We should be very, very watchful within our environment. We got this information through a Good Samaritan, and when we got there, the information was very genuine. So we worked on it and then to pick some of them, and we were able to scout around to pick other ones. We have to be mindful of our environment, and we also try as much as possible to be wary of those we see.
Chairman of Innovic Transporters, Demian Ianacho, whose vehicle conveyed the immigrants, said he was only contacted to convey them to Port Harcourt.
People normally come to pick them.
Where would the vessel take them to?
They say it's at Oron.
In Port Harcourt, Robinson Delateide, NTA News.
And as our contribution from Port Harcourt is back now to Ronke for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Dibabari. Remember, you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. You're still watching Nationwide on NTA Network Service. Let's pause for some messages now. We'll be back shortly. Do stay.
National Council for Arts and Culture, Abuja presents 10th African Arts Crafts Expo, AFAC Expo 2017, the biggest arts and crafts expo in Africa. Theme, Nigerian Crafts, the untapped treasure. Date, 27th August to 17th September 2017. Venue, Arts and Crafts Village, beside Sheraton Hotel and Yaradua Center, Abuja. Time, 9 a.m. daily. AFAC presents a unique platform for artists, crafts dealers, manufacturers, manufacturers and other stakeholders to buy, sell, and promote products from Nigeria and other African countries. For more information, please call Chinwe on 0803-321-7724, Gerald on 0802-3345-301. National Council for Arts and Culture, our pride. Otumba Olusegun Ronke, Director General, Announcer.
Medicinal plant development in Nigeria, how viable for affordable health care. That is the focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. NTA Tuesday Live, incisive, educative, and informative. Join us.
Marriage is a union between a spouse and the spouse of the spouse and the family of the spouse.
You're not only married to your husband, but to his brothers and sisters.
Oh yes, but only where that is sensibly convenient. Don't get it twisted. Marriage is as sweet as you make your home for your partner. He or she is not your slave or a workhorse, there to serve your brothers, sisters, and relatives to her own detriment or his own detriment.
It is foolery of you to have allowed your family members cause catastrophic quagmire of epic proportions in your marriage.
So says Professor John Bull, your rib-cracking comedy in this episode titled Married to Family.
They want to take advantage of my phenomena.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
The largest data network, Glow Unlimited.
Ultimate Hotels, Abuja, the ultimate place to be.
Get ready for the Diaspora Festival, Badagry, Lagos, as we welcome diasporans.
Our ancestors walked through the door of no return. Now we walk through the door of return.
And also to celebrate the cultural heritage of Nigeria. Theme, Voyage to Heritage, featuring a lot of exciting activities like the historic Door of Return ceremony, carnival procession, boat regatta, dark era procession, fishing competition, heritage site visits, international music concert, an international symposium, themed African diaspora beyond the Atlantic, and lots more. Date, 23rd to 25th of August 2017. For sponsorship and more information, please call... Come and join the Voyage to Heritage. See you there.
The NTA Television College, Jos, wishes to inform the 2009 to 2015 diploma graduates in television production, television journalism, and television engineering programs of the college that the diploma certificates are now ready for collections. Concerned graduates of 2009 to 2015 are requested to collect their certificates from the Academy Secretary's office from 21st of August to 11 September 2017 between 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. To collect your certificates, you are required to present the following: statement of result, clearance slip. For further inquiries, please contact Academic Office on 080-6980-9807 or Corporate Affairs on 080-33-144-383. Sign, Registrar.
Reorganized, trained, and fully equipped. We are the new improved Nigeria Police Force. We fight crime. We bust syndicates. Whatever the crime, wherever the hideout, the Nigeria Police Force will get you busted. Stop kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, pipeline vandalism, and other criminal activities. Be productive. Be security conscious. Join the police force to secure your life and property. This message is from the Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Department.
Glad to know you're still watching nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA. National President, Radio, Television, Theatre and Arts Workers Union, Ratabu Kabiru Garbatsani, says Nigeria's future is pride in the quest for cultural revival. Ratabu's president was speaking at an award night marking the end of the union's festival held in Jos. Nerot Nina Dinget has that report. We seem to be having some challenges with that report from Jos. Please bear with us. And moving on now, Das local government area of Bauchi State has been declared open defecation free by UNICEF DFID supported sanitation, hygiene and water in Nigeria project. Bulak Afsa reports that the secretary to the Bauchi State government, Alhaji Mohammed Nadada Omar, made the declaration at a press briefing.
Bauchi State is one of the 6 self-selected states in the country presently implementing the DFID UNICEF-supported project that aims at accelerating and sustaining progress in safe excreta disposal, adoption of basic self-hygiene practices, and ultimately reducing water and sanitation-related diseases.
It is my honor and privilege to declare DAS local government area as open defecation free.
The secretary to the state governor noted that thus local government is the first among the 70 LGAs implementing the SHAN project to be certified open defecation free, while Warji and Gama local government areas are at the verge of being certified free, adding that the state and older partners have worked assiduously towards attaining the current status, and they are focused on attaining the statewide open defecation free by the year 2025. Permanent Secretary of the Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency, RUWASA, Engineer Garba Magaji, noted that RUWASA and various stakeholders have worked tirelessly to achieve the zero open defecation free status in all the 351 communities of this local government.
It was interesting to know that at the inception of the SHAN project, the records show that open defecation was considered normal and general in all the benefiting LGAs, in fact, in all the LGAs, with traditional and cultural beliefs inhibiting the provision and usage of toilets.
In Bauchi, Bulak Afsa, NTA News.
Japanese and South African investors set to explore investment potential in Ondo State. Details with Ogochukuka in Benin. Hello, Ogochuku.
Hello, Ronke. Welcome to Benin. The Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Dr. Justin Okonobo, has been impeached. Dr. Okonobo was impeached at the plenary today in Benin City through a vote of no confidence passed by 19 out of the 24 members. Frank Okonofa reports that the former Chief Whip, Mr. Kabiru Ajoto, representing Akoko Edo 2 constituency, is now the Speaker.
The impeachment followed a motion moved by the member representing Akoko Edo constituency 2, Mr. Emmanuel Agbaje, which was adopted by the Parliament. Consequently, a member representing Esako West 2, Mr. Sivanos Iruaga, was elected as Speaker ex tempora, after which Mr. Kabiru Ajoto was nominated as Speaker, seconded by Emmanuel Asuru, and was sworn in as the Speaker, while Mr. Victor Eduro, representing Esa Central, was made the Deputy Speaker.
This change in leadership is a normal thing in Parliament, that where leadership is not performing, we change for better results.
The former Speaker, Mr. Justin Okonobo, his deputy, Mrs. Elizabeth Ativie, as well as the majority leader, Mr. Foley Ogedegbe, suspended for 3 months. In Benin, Frank Okonofwa, NTA News.
Governor Godwin Obaseki has flagged off the 2017 distribution of long-lasting insecticidal mosquito nets in the state with a call on the people to maintain simple hygiene in order to remain healthy. Goodluck Enaini reports that the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewole, was represented at the event.
For now, only about 20% of the state population, according to available statistics, availed themselves of this program. There seems to be an increase this time around, as about 86% of the population have indicated interest in fighting this scourge.
Government, now the simple thing when they affect us every day, like malaria, like the kind of school when I begin they go for primary school. So that's the one when we feel safe for government if we put our eye inside. If you feed help person, make sure say you get mosquito nets. Mosquito not bite them. People get malaria.
The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewole, represented by the Director of Public Health, Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Evelyn Ingige, commended the state government, the wife of the state governor, Mrs. Betsy Obaseki, who was decorated as the ambassador of rollback malaria in the state. Highlights of the occasion was the distribution of the treated mosquito nets by the state governor and his deputy. 2.6 million treated mosquito nets are expected to be distributed across the 18 local governments in Benin. Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
A 15-man Governor's Council on Agriculture to reposition the state's agricultural sector has been inaugurated by Governor Godwin Obaseki. This decision was the outcome of a strategist session to revamp the College of Agriculture in Iweriaki. The council is to take a broad view of the state's agricultural sector and map out strategies that will make the state the #1 crop enterprise zone in oil, cocoa, rice, vegetable, aquaculture, and livestock, among others.
The council is also expected to address the issue of dearth of manpower for modern agricultural activities by transforming the College of Agriculture, Iweriaki, into a world-class institute that will deliver the desirable graduates to service the agricultural sector.
That body will then be further split up into other subcommittees to deal with specific projects or product areas, some of which have already started working. But at least we'll have a coordinating body that just sits maybe quarterly to review what we are doing as a state in each area we've spoken about.
They assured that 200,000 hectares of land will be provided for the graduates to display their skills.
Because of the urgency, we would like to restart the schools by, the beginning of next year.
The governor recently ordered the indefinite closure of the state-owned College of Agriculture and set up a high-powered committee to investigate its activities with a view to repositioning it for effective service delivery. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
And now, Japanese and South African investors have concluded arrangements to make direct investment in critical sectors of Ondo State, like power, entrepreneurship, vocational training, solid and liquid waste, among others. On arrival in the state, the investors held a joint meeting with Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. Doris Olumoko has details.
At the joint meeting, the chief representative of Japan International Cooperative Agency said JICA would partner Ondo State in areas of development of agriculture, health, and water. On her part, the group executive officer of South African Investment Company said the large deposit of mineral and natural resources in Ondo State attracted her company.
We would like to focus on resuscitating the mining by doing exploration of the minerals that are here. And I think what gives us biggest interest that South Africa at this point in time stands in the gap to actually fund the exploration.
I am always open to discuss any issues, not only these five sectors or issues.
Ondo State Governor, Mr. Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, expressed his readiness to partner with credible investors to scale up the socio-economic capacity of the state.
We have mineral deposits that we're trotting to the sea, you have ports, we have so many.
With this partnership, it is expected that the economic base of Ondo State will boom. In Akure, Doris Ulumoko, NTA News.
And as our contribution from Benin, the news continues in Abuja. Ronke is back to you.
Thank you, Ogochukuka. Nigerian ambassador to Niger, Atahiru Haliru, has presented his letter of credence to the President of the Republic of Niger, Muhammadu Isufu, in Niamey, Niger. In attendance were government officials, including Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyama. President Isufu officially welcomed the Nigerian ambassador and conveyed greetings to President Muhammadu Buhari, who is recuperating in London, and wished him quick recovery. President Isufu added that Nigeria has remained an important partner of Niger in addressing its developmental problems and humanitarian challenges. And moving to sports now, ITTF ended Sunday in Lagos with Governor Ambode promising improving standard in next edition. Nigeria Roller Sport Federation prepares for Africa Championship. Adiola Homakive is our guide on sports update.
The fourth edition of the International Table Tennis Federation Challenge, Nigerian Open, had over 100 players from 22 countries compete in 5 categories over 5 days. Egypt dominated in both the men and women's singles final. Two-time runner-up Dina Meshref of Egypt beat Russia's Olga Kulikova 4-0, while two-time champion in the men's category Omar Asa of Egypt reclaimed his title with a comfortable 4-love victory over India's Gandhi Sasak.
We are working on how the coaches will be exposed to training to impact on the players.
Governor Akinwumi Ambode says, as giant of Africa, Nigeria should prove it in all ramifications by supporting sports development.
The idea is to use sports as a catalyst for the growth and development of this economy.
The Nigeria Roller Sports Federation has called on club owners and coaches from states of the federation to strategize ahead of the Africa Speed Skating Championship scheduled to hold between the 8th and 9th of December 2017 in Lomé, Togo. The Federation's president, Joseph Eva, says they will ensure Nigeria performs creditably well at the championship.
The moment we are giving the entries and the category of entries, we are going to make sure that we are leading the medal table.
The Nigerian Volleyball Federation has decamped the under-17 boys and girls who are currently in camp in Abuja in preparation for the Africa Juniors Championship built for Niger Republic. The Federation says the decision is sequel to the host postponing the Continental Championship by 3 weeks, adding that a new date to return to camp will be communicated to them in due course. After 10 days of keen competition, the IAAF World Championships came to an end with 48 countries registering on the medals table. Jamaica's sprint legend Usain Bolt, who dominated the sports for 15 years, was honored by the IAAF on the closing day of the championships. The United States topped the medals table with 10 gold, 11 silver and 9 bronze medals. Host Great Britain came 6th, while 6 other African countries were also listed on the medals table. The climax of the competition was the